Thank you for talking to me about your studio and practice today.
You're very welcome. Welcome to a glimpse of my studio and my country life, in a way, I suppose.
What is the first thing that you do when you get to your studio?
So when I wake up, so my studio at the minute is currently in an outhouse beside my house. So the first thing I do is I get my wellies on, I get my paint and sweatshirt on, and I go for a walk around the fields. And then I walk up to our little outhouse in my studio and I put on some music. Most of the time worship music, and I get my books. I have a little array of books and I flick through them and get some inspiration, and then I just look at my painting.
When are you most productive?
When I'm caffeinated or when I have food, to be honest. So always after lunchtime or after breakfast, that first hour, I am like, okay, what am I going to do? Let's go, let's do this. If I'm not energized, I struggle creatively if I haven't had enough sleep. So I really need to look after myself and my health and my mental health and my food and what I intake before I can just be creatively outputting.
Why did you want to do the MFA course?
That's a good question. So I came onto the MFA straight from my BA, and for me, that was quite a leap of faith. I didn't know if I was prepared for it. I kind of took it that if I got through the interview and if they accepted me, then it was the right course for me to be on. I was aware that I was getting married, and I was aware that life was starting to, just get on the move without me. And I just was like, this is something I want to pursue for me before I go into a part of my life where I'm going to be thinking of others. And it's just something I always wanted to do and pursue. And I wanted my practice to move on further. And I wanted to think more outside of the box. And I just feel like that was why I wanted to do the MFA. And it's really pushed me. And I've enjoyed every second of it, even in these surreal circumstances.
Who is your work made for?
This is the question I was dreading. I have two answers for that. Firstly, a selfish answer. I make my work for myself, for therapy. And if my work pleases me, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. But I make my work for everyone at the same time. It's inclusive. It's for everyone to experience their own spirituality in their own unique way, no matter what that is, whether that's a religious experience or wherever that's a natural experience from the natural world, or wherever they just feel connected. And that's, I think, what I want from my work, for people to feel a connection to something or someone. And that's what I aim to do within my work.
What has remained constant in your practice despite the pandemic?
During the pandemic, it happened around March, we still had to submit, as you know yourself, Katrina, and we had to submit a piece of writing to summarise our year, and I literally wrote in that, painting has been my constant. So in that sense, not much has changed. However, during all of it, I've moved, so my practice has changed and I've been informed by my environment. But for me, the painting has always been the constant, and it has been the thing during this pandemic that has kept me level.
What are and how important are the tools and materials that you use for creating your work?
For me, it might not necessarily be the tools. I think the tools for me are my hands, so very much important, and my eyes. But with my painting, there's an element of chance. And I would say the material is essential. What it does and how it reacts to other materials that I use, so the paint and the mediums I mix it with and the inks and how they react to each other is essential.
What does your studio mean to you?
it's just a sanctuary. That's like the main word I can use to describe it. And you just have no distractions, and it's just you and your work and creating. And it's nearly an ethereal experience just when you're in that making, and there's nothing else to distract you, or, oh, I have that to do when I get home, or, it's just you and your work. And yeah, I love it. And I'm so appreciative of it, especially the one I have at home, because from a place that had no space to work, to have something on my doorstep, especially in this pandemic, is just such a blessing, and I do not take it for granted.
What have you learned while on the MFA course?
That's a big question. I think easier to answer what have I not learned. But definitely I have broadened my horizons of what I am as an artist, what I'm capable of as an artist. And I've been so challenged, but the biggest thing I've learned is just be open. Just be open to every element or direction your practice can go in, and don't be afraid of the critiques, because they are the most essential and informative and rejuvenating kind of experience for your practice. It just helps you so much in your direction. And for me, I didn't expect I would ever be using poetry. Like, when I look back to the BA, I personally am a dyslexic, so writing does not come naturally to me, but yet this has organically birthed and is now informing my paintings and my practice. And I think just don't limit yourself in what you can do in the MFA. And I think that's what the Masters has taught me, don't limit myself.
Do you have any advice for art students in general or future MFA students?
Listen to your peers and listen to Mary and Dan, but never forget your voice in it, and always strive to, in a selfish act, make sure your work is still relevant and important to you, and you're producing work that means something to you, that you can stand by proudly, in a selfish way. But it's true. You should be able to be proud of your work, and just be open and go for it. If you're thinking about it, just do it, because you won't regret it.